Ever wondered how stores magically know what kind of shopper you are? Spoiler, it's not magic, it's K-means clustering. So let's track two key components for each customer. Total spending on x-axis, that's how much customer spends, and visit frequency on y-axis, that's how often customer buys. Each dot represents a shopper. Here's one customer who comes rarely but when comes spends big. And over here, another customer who comes often but spends less per trip. So we have all these shoppers. Now let's divide these shoppers into three clusters based on spending and frequency. Let's say cluster 1 is frequent low spenders. They visit the store all the time but spend just a little each time. Maybe they're like daily snack buyers. We'll use red color for cluster 1. Cluster 2 is for regular shoppers who come in moderately often and spend a decent amount. Think of weekly grocery shoppers and we'll use green color for them. And cluster 3 comprises shoppers who don't visit often but when they do, they go all out. Blue is the color for them. First, we randomly place 3 centroids, and centroids here mean centers of our clusters on the graph. These are our starting points. Next, we calculate the distance from each shopper to each of those 3 centroids. And we will use Euclidean distance. Think of it like a straight line distance. Let's look at this one shopper. For this shopper, D1 is the distance to centroid 1, D2 is the distance to centroid 2, and D3 is the distance to centroid 3. Out of all 3 distances, D1 is the smallest, so this customer is assigned to cluster 1, so we color it to red. We repeat this process for all shoppers, calculating the distance from each one to all 3 centroids and assigning them to the nearest centroid based on distance. Now it's time to recalculate the centroids. These centroids move to the center of their assigned shoppers. The centroid is basically the average of all the points in the cluster. Now we repeat the whole process. First, assign shoppers to the nearest centroid, and second, recalculate centroids. We keep repeating this until the centroids stop moving significantly. As this happens, the centroids gradually settle into positions where they best represent their clusters. After a few rounds, the centroids don't move anymore. That means the clusters are now finalized. Cluster 1 in red, there are frequent less spenders. Cluster 2 in green, there are regular shoppers. And lastly, cluster 3 in blue, and there are big spenders. And that's how stores use K-means clustering to organize their shoppers and make smarter business decisions. So next time you're shopping, remember your data is being clustered.